Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the top 10 tight end prospects heading into the 2020 NFL Draft. Make sure to like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Now, let's dive into it. First of all, looking at my tight end number 1, I have Adam Troutman out of Dayton. He's a 6'5", 255-pound tight end that ran a 4.8 40-yard dash with a 34.5-inch vertical. Despite running a 4.8 40-yard dash, I feel like his play speed is really good at a B+, and he's got very good acceleration at an A. Some of his pros are that he was very productive in college, he's great at contested catches and great in run after the catch. Cons are he was playing against low competition and has a limited route tree. Overall, I feel like he's a good prospect that's well-rounded, and the only real knock on him is that he played on really low competition, so it could be hard for him to transfer over to the NFL level, but the fact that he performed really well at the Senior Bowl really tells me that he will probably be able to transfer pretty well. Moving on to my tight end number 2, I have Kolby Metoyer from Notre Dame. He's a 6'6", 262-pound tight end that ran a 4.7 at the combine with a 37-inch vertical. His play speed is only a B- though, and his acceleration is a B+. Some of his pros are his catch radius at that massive 6'6" frame, his blocking, and his powerful run after the catch ability. Some of his cons though are his routes, his contested catches, and he runs too upright in his routes. Personally, I think he's a great prospect. He's that prototypical 6'6", 260-pound tight end that we see out of like Gronk or other great tight ends in the past, and I think he'll have a really good fit in the NFL. Moving on to my tight end number 3, I have Hunter Bryant from Washington University. At 6'2", 248 pounds, Hunter Bryant ran a 4.7 40-yard dash with a 32.5-inch vertical leap. I think that he plays much faster than his 40 times says though, with an A- play speed. His acceleration is a B. Some of his pros are his really good ball skills, his release off the line of scrimmage, and his hands. Some of his cons though are his blocking. He's not a very good blocker at all. His size at only 6'2", but other players like Evan Ingram, Trey Burton, Delaney Walker had made it work at a shorter height. In the NFL, his route running, he's not the greatest route runner, and his injury concerns. He was injured for a couple of games in college. I feel like he can really translate to the NFL as that slot receiver type of tight end, similar to Evan Ingram or Trey Burton. Thaddeus Moss finds himself in my tight end 4 slot out of LSU. He's at 6'3", 250 pounds. He did not attend the combine due to an injury. His play speed is only a B-, with his acceleration also being a B-. But some of his pros, though, are his blocking, his hands, and the fact that he is very polished. He's a very well-rounded tight end prospect. Also, he's one of the best blocking tight ends in the class, in my opinion. Cons are his athleticism, with it's only average, subpar at best, maybe might not be the greatest for the NFL level, his release off the line of scrimmage, and his agility. But I think that he could be a very impactful player in the NFL just due to his great hands and blocking ability. Even if he doesn't make it as a starting tight end, which I think he still will be able to 100%, the fact that he's a great blocker and has great hands, I think he'll make it as a backup in the league. Moving on to Bryson Hopkins at my number 5 spot out of Purdue. I think he's a little bit overrated. Some people have him as their number 1 tight end, and I just don't see it. He's a 6'5", 255-pound tight end out of Purdue that ran a 4.66 40-yard dash with a 33.5-inch vertical. His play speed's a B+, and his acceleration is an A-. Some of his pros are his routes. He really finds soft spots in the zone, and he's a great deep threat. Some of his cons, though, are he's got very weak play strength. He doesn't separate very well, and he doesn't have great ball skills, and part of the reason why I feel like he's way overrated is because, in my opinion, the best thing that a receiver or tight end can do is to separate well, because if you can separate well, then I feel like you have a spot in the league because you can get open, you can be an impactful player on the field. Next up, we have Okeke from Missouri as my tight end number 6. At 6'5", 258 pounds, Albert O shocked everyone at the combine, running a 4.49 40-yard dash. Although he ran a 4.49, I feel like he doesn't play that fast. He plays at an average speed, I feel like, at a B, with B+ acceleration. Some of his pros are his ball skills, his contested catches, and his red zone threat ability. Some of his cons, though, are his routes, his blocking, and his release off the line of scrimmage. I think that he can be a really impactful player in the NFL if he can play like he did in his sophomore season, where he was projected to be one of the top 3 tight ends off the board. But he really dropped off this last season after having little production in college. But I feel like he can still be a great player in the NFL. Now looking at my tight end number 7, I have Harrison Bryant from FAU. At 6'5", 243 pounds, he's slightly undersized for a tight end, but he ran a 4.7 340-yard dash and had a 32.5-inch vertical at the combine. I think his play speed is a B with A- acceleration. Some of his pros are his route running, his blocking, and his contested catches, while his cons are he has the occasional drop, his release off the line of scrimmage, and his weight. He's a little bit light at 6'5", to be playing the tight end position, and if he wants to be successful at the next level, I think he's going to have to gain some weight, get up to like that 250 range if he wants to be successful. I think that he could be a great impactful player as like a second string tight end or something in the league, but with the potential to be a starter, especially if the first string goes down with injury. My tight end number 8 spot, I have Colby Parkinson from Stanford. At 6'7", 252 pounds, he ran a 4.7 740-yard dash with a 32.5-inch vertical leap. His play speed is a B with acceleration of a C+. Some of his pros are contested catches, his hands, and his catch radius. Some of his cons are his routes, blocking, and run after the catch ability. He's really a big body receiver to go catch the ball on third down or in the red zone when you need him to just go up and snag the ball. As for his cons though, his blocking, it really sucks as he was mainly a slot receiver at Stanford, and he's a real liability inside if you want to run a blocking play. But he could be a great blocking receiver though if you spread him out wide on like a toss or something. At tight end number 9, I have Charlie Tomoko from Portland State. At 6'2", 240 pounds, he's undersized for the position, but Charlie T ran a 4.75 40-yard dash with a 36.5-inch vertical leap. His play speed is a B and his acceleration is a B. Some of his pros are his run after the catch, his blocking, and his contested catches. Some of his cons though are his separation and size, with competition being his biggest one. Playing at Portland State, he barely had to face any good competition, so his tape is just him mossing people and destroying them, even with his bad quarterback. Although another reason why he's way down here is because of his separation, which I think is very important at the next level. Although because of his potential and looking at his tape, even though it could be misleading, I think he's got crazy potential. Rounding up the list at tight end number 10, I have Jakob Dylan from Oregon. He's a stereotypical tight end at 6'5", 252 pounds who didn't attend the combine. His play speed is a B- and his acceleration is a B+. His pros are his routes and run after the catch ability, with his cons being his blocking, his contested catching, and his body control. Overall, I feel like he's just a good deep threat receiver that some teams could really use at the tight end position, because that's kind of rare in the NFL at times. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And until next time.